Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another video. This is my van. We are building it out. We're traveling around North America finding interesting companies that can help to add different things to the van. We have just added Van Windows Direct windows and CR Lawrence windows all the way around the van. And so at this moment, if you look at the inside of the van, it's quite bright. It's not as stealthy as it once was. There are a lot of open spaces for light to come in, heat to come in, heat to escape, cold to come in, and cold to escape. So what do? Well, you got to find a way to cover those windows when you don't want them open. And that's why I'm at Van Made Gear. They specialize in unique window coverings for the inside of people's vans. Sprinters and Transits and ProMaster. I just talked to Simon, the owner of the company, and he invited me over, so we're going to talk to him and check into getting all these windows covered with some high quality Van Made gear. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex. Hi, Ashley. Were you who answered the phone when I called earlier? Yes. Oh, very cool, very cool. Do you want to take a look at the van, or do you want to? Okay.
Well, you even got your plates for it. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my brand.
Nice.
Yeah. This is aluminum, right?
This is aluminum, right?
Okay.
And, we have a few models where we attach it straight to this, except we provide hardware that
like stick-on metal plates or something.
Yeah, the VHB hardware that creates a magnetic surface. But as much as we can, we'd rather stick to the metal frame around it. And so, depending on how you build your wall panels, we would ideally want to overlap this window and stick to.
Well, I mean, you know, this is a unique opportunity. Before I even built anything, I can literally build it to to what you need, you know, in order for the window covers to work.
We just haven't seen this specific window installed here, so we just need to see where this line meets up, and then
you have so it zips like a pouch. It zips out like a
it flips up. It flips up. Yeah, it flips up here and here.
Everybody, this is Simon. Simon runs, oh, there's a light. Simon runs Van Made Gear. How long have you had Van Made Gear?
We've been around for 3.5, almost 4 years.
3.5 years. You've come a long way.
We've come a long ways. You'll have to check out the shop in a second. But
yeah, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the window you hadn't sort of mocked up yet, eh? The middle?
Yeah, so we, when we measured it, there was definitely, that customer had a lot of furniture in the way.
Okay.
And so we kind of had to assume some of the curvatures, and so you know it's nice to have an empty van.
I don't have any furniture in the way. Yeah. That's for sure.
Yeah. So.
And then this is the Van Windows Direct window.
Yeah, and then for these windows, we also do that overlap method to cover all of it, because you know basically for Van Windows Direct, there's only three
points of attachment.
Points of attachment.
Yeah.
There's nothing here.
Yeah.
So it definitely still works better to overlap the whole thing.
Yeah, and if you give me guidance, maybe I can help other people by designing this van according to the covers, and then other people can kind of follow my lead and maybe make something similar. I'll have like an overhead camera set up so I can do unboxings and stuff. You know, from the.
This is like going to be fully custom.
Yeah, just for making videos. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And now it's a mess, but in transition. Yeah.
So what I'll do next is I'll check to see if my team's ready to template some of these areas. One thing that's kind of exciting actually that we're working on as well is
what was your first van?
My first van was a Dodge Sprinter.
Okay.
And a 2008 Sprinter. I looked like far and wide for finding that thing because it didn't have the diesel exhaust fluid and such, but it was a passenger van, so it has
all the windows.
Like
Yeah.
It has all the windows. No company's had every window as a product.
So you had made it out of necessity.
Yeah.
You're like, I got to cover these windows. I want to do it with something decent, and so you made it. You made them yourself.
Right. Yeah. Made it myself. I bought a sewing machine and then I knew what I wanted. I knew what I wanted. I didn't need it to fold and be out of the way.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't so multifunctional in the beginning. It was just keep the van dark and warmer
and insulated.
And insulated.
Yeah, we were in this type of weather where it's pretty cold and rainy, and so you know we definitely needed any insulation we can get. And with a window van, that's like you can't insulate those with thin slit or wool or whatever. So.
What did you use on your first windows? Was it like vinyl, Havelock wool and vinyl sandwiched together? I mean, did you do something?
No.
How did you get that insulation on the first?
Yeah, I went to Douyin Fabric and we bought some batting.
Okay.
Bought some batting, and you know that's what was inside. It was definitely too soft, and you know it looked a little saggy.
Yeah.
It did the trick.
It did the trick.
And then. For certain windows, I think the material of choice for starters is Reflectix. That's you know it's all shiny and loud and crinkly. So that wasn't ideal, but that's an easy material to work with, and so we all started there.
And then you took that to a show or something? How did everybody were like, oh, you got to make me one of those, or can you do that for me? At what point did that happen?
Yeah, no, it wasn't a show. It was there was a Sprinter forums back then. Before it was now I think it's like mostly Facebook or something. But Sprinter forums is still.
They got a Ford Transit forum too.
Yeah. No, there were a lot of there's a lot of great information there. I built my van based on all the information I was able to find on that, and basically they had electrical engineers. They had all kinds of very experienced folks. Who had done it multiple times and post about the process, and so I followed their process, their tips and such on building my van.
Okay.
And so you know, it led up to then building window covers, which there was no information on.
Yeah.
So.
And then you put in the forum, hey, I'm doing this thing.
Oh yeah. So,
and then they were like,
it was just all the responses were like, hey, can you build me a set?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, maybe I can crank out another set or two, and then the line started building, and then you know, at that point forward, I'm like, I think I'm onto something and need to start cranking these out. You
know, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life, and it's funny, like when you try to develop a business that you have to like push yourself into the genre. And then there's another type of business where you're pulled into the genre. It seems like you were being like, hey, make me, you know?
Yeah. People were like, take my money. I'm like,
there's a lot of van life. There's a lot of van life business stories just like that.
It's all about finding a problem where you can make a solution for.
Right.
And you know, as long as there's
the market
for that and the market for that. And it's a good solution, then that's what it takes.
And then you started developing more magnetic solutions and more. Was it magnetic, the first one?
Yeah.
Oh,
first
it was
magnetic. Because I'm like, there's the van full of
metal. Let's use this.
Yeah. In fact, I had to use extra strong magnets because mine was a Sprinter passenger van.
Okay.
So it had
the
trim
moldings
all across, and so all the existing solutions that there weren't very many, but all of those were magnetic but weak magnets. So they didn't stick.
Yeah.
And so I had to use stronger and stronger magnets.
Can we take a look at some of your window covers?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Thanks.
So let's see. You want to check out the production?
Sure.
Where all the magic happens right now. Yeah.
Let's do a walk around.
Yeah, I mean, so we got our cutting station back there. We're trimming anything that we need to trim to size. We're machine cutting, CNC cutting everything to the shape of the specific windows.
What was it like when you picked up your first CNC machine? I mean, that must have been a pretty interesting moment, right?
You mean for a sewing machine or CNC?
Your first cutter, because that was when you really could like scale up big.
Yep, we were cutting everything by hand with scissors.
Yeah.
And so that pretty much multiplied productivity by like 50 times or whatever.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing with what machine can do.
How many window covers do you output a month? On a good month?
On a good month, probably, I would say that's 400 sets.
Okay, yeah. But sets can range widely, right?
Yeah, some vans have 11 plus windows. Yeah, I would say we're in the thousands.
What percentage is Sprinter and what percentage is ProMaster and what percentage is... Do you do ProMaster windows?
We do ProMasters.
Okay.
We do several other vans as well. I would say it depends.
Okay.
We have waves where it's mostly Sprinters. Right now it's the transit wave.
Okay.
We have a lot of transits.
You're going through transition.
Yeah, it depends on, I think it depends on word of mouth in a way, and maybe who has stock somewhere else or whatever, and the forums especially. Like we have RV forums that say something about us, and then a whole group flocks over here and say, hey, we need a solution for our entire vehicle.
Show me the anatomy of a window cover.
This is a pre-assembled shade right now, but yeah, it's really just
the reflector.
This is low E.
Okay.
The current material we have inside.
Okay.
But it's fabric, foam, and then fabric. Further down the process, we put the magnets in around the edges.
Yep.
And bind the edges.
And then the folding seams. It's there's a lot to it more than the actual stitching. It adds a lot of functionality to it.
Right. Yeah. And we specifically design our models to roll up in a way where it creates basically a package at the top of the window.
Yeah.
And there are magnets, especially on the top corners, where it sticks to the van rather than allow it to flare out and accordion.
Right.
So yeah, there's a little bit more engineering.
Each seam has to be a little wider, so that you can like a binding of a book. And you have 13 workers here? 12.
Yeah.
JaYoe? Yes, Simon is in a unique industry. It seems like he creates these really cool window shades, these multifunctional window shades, and then all of a sudden competition rises up. And as a matter of fact, I even did the same thing. I looked at a couple of other competitors. I'm like, is that van-made gear? And I'm like, no, it isn't.
It looks exactly like it though.
Yeah. And he was saying that the capability of being able to do R&D in-house in the States provides you a strategic edge and an ability to innovate a lot quicker than competition. Because competition is producing mass in China and probably don't have this sort of hands-on R&D and development program.
Yep.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, we've got at least 6 or 7 projects going on at the same time every day to further innovate and create leading edge products for solving these problems in the van. So they're sitting on their computer refreshing your website. Like, what's new? Yeah. Basically, we move from station to station to either sew or assemble or trim or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, currently you are the true definition of made in America, right? I mean, are these materials, are they overseas or are they from the States?
Most of it is here.
Most of it is here, yeah.
The fabric is very difficult to get here. This fabric is made in the States here.
Okay.
This is a marine grade fabric that you'd find on for boat tops and such.
Okay.
So this is 100% USA products and materials all around. We have other materials that you just can't source here. Yeah. We have a few options. Yeah. And we try our best to
source locally.
Yeah, and with the pandemic, that was the problem too.
Yeah.
Sourcing import products meant huge delays all over the place.
Yeah.
Stuck at the docks or whatever. So we've had that advantage as well to keep on pushing forward. Right.
Well, everybody else was waiting. You were making. So can you show us in this video an operation of just really simply how does pull one out and show us how it works?
ProMaster shade, I think. This is a ProMaster window shade where there's a opening on the bottom here.
Okay.
There's two flaps that open. So first of all, we can roll the whole thing up.
All right.
This is pre-QA, so there's all the loose threads that we haven't cut off yet.
Right.
Yeah, this is option one, to keep it stored at the top of the window,
Yep.
out of the way. And then if you want to open like the right side window, that stays up like that.
Yeah, and that's the magnets, right?
Yeah, the magnets.
1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Or the other side. Quite a few different models that we specifically measure out where the opening of the window is, so that you can ventilate the van by flipping that portion open while keeping the rest of the window still closed to block off as much sunlight as possible.
It's a weird shape.
Yeah, there are a lot of unique windows out there. A lot of common thing, like the adventure wagon, for example. That's what that was.
Okay.
They have a support beam that goes across the front of the window and the back for their beds, for their Moab bed. And so we have a model that works around that. And this is kind of a rougher model one, but basically this is our upcoming model of the shade that has both a
Screen. Awesome.
and an insulated portion where this is like one of those Arctic turn windows where you gotta reach through the window to open the latches.
Oh.
And so
Like a double zipper.
yeah, once this is mounted, you can kind of poke through it and then close it for the bugs. Yeah.
Cool.
So I think, why don't we just...
Let's measure the van.
Holy moly, that was pretty cool. I didn't show you too much, but they measured out all of the windows in the van. They're going to create a set of quality van-made gear, window covers for the inside of the van. And Simon has a really interesting story. You know, as it stands right now, he has such an intimate relationship with his product line that he produces everything in this facility right here, which is sort of rare in this sort of genre, this sort of product genre. It's kind of cool. Made in USA, van-made gear. It is going to be a very important component, and he's got some unique things. He showed me some prototypes for some stuff. So they've got some interesting product styles that are on the horizon. I do need to cover up these windows though, because I'm going to be sleeping there. People are going to be like, how's it going? Anyways, like, subscribe, share, comment, JaYoe, and I hope you enjoyed that little visit.